Good evening and welcome to the Wednesday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Aaron Sperry, here to guide you through our opening on the show here on this now beautiful Wednesday. Earlier we had that sun behind the clouds, but you could see now it's starting to peek through those upper level clouds there. Currently sitting at 87 degrees under mostly sunny skies there at Doak Campbell Stadium. Current temperatures are in the mid to upper 80s across the area, so 87 there in Tallahassee, 84 in Quincy. Our radar doesn't show much in the way of any rain showers in our area, although we do see some showers off over the Emerald and the Forgotten Coast there, over towards East Point, and those might try and work their way over to the north and east, but it'll likely to fall apart by that point. But tonight's headlines: big-time rains in store for the Big Bend and Southeast. Tropics will begin to heat up, and hurricane preparedness review tonight. All that more on FSU Weather.
And welcome back to your Wednesday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Genevieve Rejock.
And I'm student meteorologist Ariana Wittick.
We're happy to have you guys back for the second show of the year. Aaron was mentioning the sun that was out. It's quite sunny outside.
Yes.
But what's to come?
That's going to change in the near future with rain coming into the area and really going to take those sunny conditions and kind of put them on the back burner for a little bit.
Make them a little murky. We do have that low pressure system that is draped across the southeast that is going to bring us storms in the coming days. We're really going to have a rainy rest of the week, aren't we?
That is right, and that rain is going to stick around, especially heading into the weekend, so you know.
And where else do we see a lot of rain and activity? The tropics, yes. That's for sure.
Well, we're going to pass it off to the local with Aaron.
Thanks, Ariana. That's right, we do have rain in the forecast coming up here in the later part of the week, but right now, enjoy that sun out there. It was a warm one, any sunny day outside. Right now it is currently 87 degrees under mostly sunny skies with the light wind out of the west at 8 miles per hour. Our radar across the Big Bend doesn't show much in the way of rain coverage, I should say, but we do see a few little showers trying to sneak in their way from the Gulf of Mexico down there towards Apalachicola and East Point. Those may try and scoot their way off to the northeast, but they're likely to fall apart as they approach the Tallahassee metro area. Current temperatures across the area, for the most part, are staying in the 80s, so 87 in Tallahassee, a little bit warmer there in St. Mark's at 89 degrees, and then Apalachicola at 84 degrees at this hour. Current dew points across Tallahassee is still pretty muggy, although you do see signs of that sea breeze starting to make its way in from the Gulf there, with a little bit more moist air as it comes its way, advecting in from the Big Bend area. So the future radar across the area does show perhaps some cloud coverage and rain moving into tomorrow, but we'll begin to start seeing more of those rain showers and more coverage as we see those pop-up showers beginning to become more widespread across, especially across I-10 northward as we get into tomorrow afternoon. So tonight across Tallahassee, we'll see temperatures bottoming out around 73 degrees under cloudy skies. So shouldn't be a terrible night out there, but do keep in mind it is still pretty muggy outside as we are now in September, early September, I should say. Tonight's forecast, we will see Tallahassee bottoming down into the low 70s, might even perhaps see an upper 60 up there into southwest Georgia there, with Thomasville sitting at 69 degrees, and then a little bit warmer to our friends down in Carabel and Apalachicola in the middle 70s. Tomorrow here across campus, we'll see temperatures rising up to 84 degrees, a little bit cooler this time or tomorrow because of those showers and more thunderstorm coverage as we see those clouds coming in from the south. Tomorrow's forecast temperatures will remain in the middle 80s for much of the region, and of course those cooler spots are because of the rain showers across the area. But for the week ahead, we'll see those temperatures remaining for the most part in the middle 80s, but they will rise again once we see once we see the rain chances go down. But now we'll pass things off to Spencer.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. So tonight, why is it not working? Thank you, Aaron. So we're going to take a look at the state of Florida. So right now we can see it is pretty clear across most of the state. However, we do have a large cluster of storms over the Gulf of Mexico for right now. And as I said, we do have a mostly clear evening here in Tallahassee. Clear, as we can see, throughout East Point, Tallahassee, and out into Lake City. And as well, we are experiencing temperatures around 84 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, and that's pretty indicative of this time of year as temperatures will start to slightly cool down from the summer highs. As well, you can see, again, like I mentioned, we do have that cluster of storms out in the Gulf of Mexico. However, that's pretty clear up here in the north in the Panhandle, but as we get closer into the Florida Peninsula, we do see some more storms popping up, particularly around the I-4 corridor between Tampa and Daytona. And zooming in on Daytona again, you can see some more of those storms, particularly around Orlando, Daytona, and down into Brevard County. If you are in this area, please be aware for some possibly localized flooding. And as well, looking in Gainesville, our rivals to the south, we have temperatures of around 91 degrees, a little bit warmer than here in Tallahassee, but not too bad. And for Miami, my hometown, we are looking at temperatures closer to here in Tallahassee, 87 degrees and partly cloudy with a south-southeast wind at 7 miles an hour. And our temperatures across the state, we are looking at roughly temperatures in the upper 70s into the mid-80s, 85 in Tampa, 88 in Key West, and 80 degrees as well up in Pensacola. And our current dew point, so this is how much moisture the air can hold based on the temperature outside. It's also a measure of how muggy it is on your skin. Looking at dew points, pretty muggy actually. Wow, 77 out in Tampa, 72 in Orlando, 77 as well in Key West, and 71 in Tallahassee. And tonight, throughout the state of Florida, we can see temperatures cooling down just slightly into the low 70s and upper 80s, particularly Key West, 82 degrees, 79 Miami, 71 Tallahassee, and 77 in Fort Myers and Tampa. And looking at the forecast for tomorrow, we are expecting some more temperatures in the mid to upper 80s peaking into the low 90s, particularly in Miami and West Palm Beach. And we are also looking at temperatures at 90 degrees in Orlando, 86 in Gainesville, 84 in Tallahassee, 87 in Key West. And passing it off to Ariana with our next segment.
Hey everybody, we're actually going to take a look across the southeast right now through the area. And you can see the dew points across the area are on the muggier side. Those dew points are in the 70s for most of the area, getting down into the upper 70s as you head farther down into the Florida Peninsula. Although a look at our radar has most of that rain staying offshore right now, but that will eventually work its way into the Florida Panhandle. Across the rest of the southeast, though, we can see those showers are really scattered in nature, especially along this cold front that is draping through the southeast right now. A little bit closer looking into Georgia, all quiet for the southern half of Georgia, but rain is working its way into Atlanta at the moment. For our future radar, I mentioned that rain that is going to be sticking around for our area. We're actually going to have a stationary front that's going to stall over our area and bring bouts of rain over the next couple of days, so that sunshine we have been enjoying for the past couple of days is going to go away as we head into the future and especially into the weekend. For our Wednesday outlook for rain, we can see it's going to be predominantly in the southeastern portion of Georgia and into southern parts of South Carolina, but that's actually going to shift as we head into Thursday. We can see a slight chance for excessive rainfall for a lot of the southeast region because of that stationary front that's really going to stick over the area and just bring bouts and bouts of rain round after round as we head into the next couple of days. So let's take a look at those rainfall totals that we can expect. Bullseye right now is on Miami with several inches of rain, and then another area to watch is that of Mississippi and into Alabama. But rain is going to be across the area for most of the next coming days. Tonight, though, we are going to see conditions that are fairly muggy, and we are going to see temperatures that are going to be in the 70s across most of the area, especially down into the Florida Peninsula. We can see those temperatures are barely even going to reach the upper 70, or barely going to stay in the 70s, 78 there, close to 80. It's going to be a hot and muggy night. Some areas are going to see some rain, especially off to our west in parts of Mississippi and Louisiana. But for tomorrow, we can see across the area that we're going to see a lot of sunny skies for most of the southeast, especially off to our west, Arkansas, Louisiana. I'm a little bit jealous right now because here in Tallahassee, we're going to see rainfall in the next couple days. So tomorrow in Tallahassee, 84 degrees. Sunshine is going to start to lessen as we head into tomorrow, with rain chances increasing over the next couple days. And then working into Miami, Tampa, and Orlando, we can see rain chances going to be pretty predominant for most of the day. And if you are going to those theme parks, it is going to be a soggy one, so make sure you have an umbrella, especially areas along the southeastern coast into South Carolina, Georgia, and the Florida Peninsula. So with that rain, we can see a lot of that is going to stick around into the area. But what about the tropics? You know, I'm missing that rain here, but like, tropics can stay away.
That's right, and as we are approaching the peak of the hurricane season after a lull of a start here across the Atlantic Basin, we are talking about two named systems here in the open Atlantic. So we do have Earl there, which is now a Category 1 hurricane over just off to the east of the mainland United States. And we also have Danielle, which is starting to weaken as it transitions into an extratropical low as it approaches Europe there in the far northern Atlantic. So closer look at Danielle here. You see a very open shape for Danielle, not in good shape here at all. As it moves over cooler waters, it'll begin to meander over the northern Atlantic before it meets its fate over in Europe. But current winds right now are at 80 miles per hour, so it is still pretty windy, a windy Category 1 hurricane moving to the northeast at 16 miles per hour. And if you are plotting it, it is 44.9 north and 34.9 west. As for Earl here, it has recently become a hurricane as of the past day or so. This is in better shape than Danielle. This is sitting right now at 26.5 north and 65.5 west. Current winds are 85 miles per hour, moving off to the north at 8 miles per hour, pressure down to 974 millibars. So we do have a couple of disturbances out in the Atlantic still. We have one that is over the central Atlantic, which actually has a pretty high chance of developing as it moves its way off into the north and east, but many of the models do want to recurve it out into the open Atlantic. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we continue across much of the actual season. But we do have another area off, or another wave off the coast of Africa. They'll be moving off here as it approaches the Cape Verde Islands here. This will begin to move off to the east, or the west-northwest, I should say. This one has a lower chance to develop right now, but we'll have to see as it gets into the Atlantic, because a lot of these computer models, like the GFS model and the Euro model, like to spin these up. But of course, we'll have to see what actually happens as we approach. So take one closer look at these, or satellite view of these areas. We see the disturbance off to the north here is a little bit more organized. We see the actual the clockwise spin in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That's starting to fan out some of those upper level clouds off to the towards Europe, towards the northeast. And then we do have that area off the coast of Africa, which is pretty disturbed, or it's not as organized, I should say, as the area off in the Atlantic Ocean. But as it makes its way offshore, we'll begin to see that. So 95L, we do have that system here. It is more organized than the other system moving off the coast of Africa. Has a 70% chance of forming in the next 2 days, and of course in the next 5 days if it hasn't yet developed. So we'll have to watch this, but again, it looks like it'll probably stay a fish storm as we progress throughout the rest of the week into the weekend. So our second disturbance here currently has a 0% chance of forming in the next couple of days because it is still over land right now. But as it pushes off over the water, we will perhaps see an opening for the system to perhaps develop and move its way off to the west-northwest. But of course, we'll have to see how Invest 95L will actually interact with the Bermuda High and see if it continues on its track off to the west-northwest, or if it will kind of recurve off to the northwest. But we'll zoom even closer to disturbance number 2. And as you can see, it is still, a lot of it actually is over land. So all these blobs here are those, as that monsoon thunderstorm activity happening over Africa, over places like Senegal and Gambia there in Africa. But as it moves over the Atlantic, we do have a possibility of it forming as we continue off throughout the next few days. But our tropics review will begin to heat up as we approach the climatological peak. But no apparent threat for land for any of these systems yet, and a good time to review your hurricane preparedness as always. But we'll actually turn things back over to the desk to talk more about hurricane preparedness.
Good evening, and we are going to talk about hurricane preparedness because we are starting to see more disturbances in the Atlantic Ocean right now. So we are going to take a look at those hurricane preparedness tips right now. And the first one is that we are going to see peak hurricane season right around the corner, August, September, especially working into October, right?
Oh yeah, Ariana. So right now, around September 10th is pretty much peak hurricane season. So although we haven't seen too much action yet, it does not mean we won't see any action later in the season. Just to make a point across to everyone, the National Hurricane Center and several other bodies which do make hurricane forecasts have actually recently doubled down and have still predicted a possibility for an average to above average season. So just because we haven't had that many storms yet doesn't mean that we won't later on in the season.
That is correct. And, it is important to remember that all it takes is one storm to change the outlook of an entire season. So it may not be as busy now, or you may not see those storms headed your way, but that could change just with one named system.
Oh yeah, Ariana, I know you lived through Hurricane Michael, and my family from South Florida lived through Hurricane Andrew. Hurricane Andrew was the first storm of the season. I think there were only 6 storms in 1992, so it really does only take one storm and everything could be wiped away, so you should always be prepared.
So yes, let's talk about some preparedness tips. And you can see that peak activity is going to be in the middle part of September and heading into early October. So we're going to talk about evacuations. We always want to stay prepared and have an evacuation route in mind before the season kicks off. And even now, as we haven't seen tropical activity for our area, it's now time to start preparing in case that a system comes to our area.
Oh, 100%. You never want to last minute figure out where you need to go in an evacuation, because you and everyone else will also be feeling the same thing, and you definitely don't want to get stuck in that traffic. But really quick, we do want to give you guys some advice on how to prepare for a hurricane. Big thing, make sure you buy water as soon as you can. You definitely don't want to wait when all those shelves are empty, Ariana.
That is right. Get your generators, a food supply, and stay safe out there as we are headed into the peak part of the hurricane season. Now we're going to toss it over to the wall with Genevieve for a look at our national.
That is right, and I know, Ariana and Spencer, you mentioned water, and that is something that I really want to stress for tonight's national look. Look at Salt Lake City, 103 degrees, I can't believe my eyes, but really dry, which we'll get into, but really high temperatures over there, risk for fire, which we'll also talk about. But over here on the East Coast, surprisingly, as we're inching a little bit past meteorological fall, big mouthful, that the eastern coast is really looking quite nice compared to the west. Some people say West Coast, best coast. I don't know that I believe that. Because we see this dry air coming through and lowering this dew point, which it means how much moisture is in the air, and we see these 34-degree dew points in Salt Lake City that's really making the conditions very dry and very hot. And we see the wind speeds. We can also, I really want to point out here, these winds that are spinning counterclockwise around a low pressure system that is giving way to a lot of storms on the East Coast, fleeing into the Atlantic, thank God, but did pass us in the past days. And speaking about rain, always talking about it, we have this low pressure system that is just draped up right across the southeast. You see these storms. They're right below us here in Tallahassee, going to inch into northern, going into central Florida, hopefully, well, not hopefully, but in the coming days, hopefully not doing too much damage, though. We do have that high pressure system that is keeping the West Coast dry and the western part of the country dry, but we do have this rain that is coming through onto south of New Mexico and Arizona, and that rain here, as you see in our upper level water vapor. Really moist air going on. But we want to keep you weather prepared, and a way to do that is by keeping an eye on the watches and the warnings. And as I said, that dry air and a lot of wind going through will really give way to fire weather warnings and fire weather watch. Here, if you're in Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, you have that fire weather warning. And if you happen to be in Oregon or Southwest Washington, you will be seeing fire weather watch and heat advisory going into Nevada, if I could point at the right state, just northern Nevada. And you're going to want your water because it's hot out. We see that radar going through the northwest. Always storms going through the northwest, but we do see some rain coming through, which hopefully will give some relief to these dry conditions and bring some cloud cover, but overall still pretty dry no matter how many showers we get. Currently, the plains are looking pretty nice. We have North Dakota, South Dakota looking pretty dry. Its friends out to the west, not looking so nice. And then we'll head right back on over to the northeast region where we'll see really a lot of storms, smaller storms, but still rain to come through the region. And we'll dip right down to the southeast where we'll see smaller storms as well. Luckily, not getting those crazy, crazy storms that were going to inch through northern to central Florida. So if you are in that region, please be careful. And we'll look at Texas. Texas isn't seeing too much, but in terms of rain, you are getting some. Mexico is getting some, but we see that huge system going through, which is what we really want to stress. If you are in Florida in the coming weeks, in the coming days, you will be seeing quite a bit of rain. But into the overnight hours, we're seeing pretty nice in the eastern part, western part, looking overall lower 70s, and then going into the 90s even in the west for tomorrow's highs. And what about that lifestyle, Aaron? What do you have to say?
Well, it's certainly not going to be hot this weekend with the rain showers coming in to our area, but one more look at Doak Campbell Stadium, which is currently sitting at 87 degrees under sunny conditions. We'll have those clouds starting to clear out slowly but surely across the area tonight with winds out of the west at 8 miles per hour. For any airport delays, if you are traveling on airplane today, or tonight I should say, then Tallahassee right now is 87 degrees and no delays at Tallahassee International. But if you're heading to any other airports, they should remain fairly in good shape, although if you're heading out of Orlando, might see a few of those thunderstorms perhaps actually impact your flight plans out of Orlando International Airport. Our dog walk forecast tomorrow at 7 a.m. we'll see temperatures starting off in the low to mid 70s, but they'll gradually get up to the upper 70s by the noontime, and it's actually quite a difference from today as we've seen the sunshine, but tomorrow we'll see more cloudy conditions moving into the area. But if you are stargazing tonight, we do have a 96% full waning gibbous, so should be great conditions out there with those clouds starting to clear out of the area, and especially tonight will be the night to do it, and because, of course, as we get throughout the rest of the week with those showers incoming in the area, that can perhaps inhibit some of that stargazing that you otherwise might not see. So for our women's soccer, FGCU at Florida State on September 8th, which I believe is Saturday, then or actually tomorrow, thunderstorms in the area with temperatures up in the upper 70s as we go through as we start the game here at 7 p.m. And for NFL kickoff for the Bills at the Rams here, we'll see temperatures at 85 degrees under clear conditions with, of course, at 8:20. So for our weekend forecast, we'll see that temperatures, for the most part, will start to go down into the middle 70s as we go throughout the rest of the week here in Tallahassee. And those temperatures, for the most part, will actually start to rise up as we get towards the later part of the week, as we see more sunshine perhaps coming into the picture on Sunday. But it's going to be you're going to need your umbrella though on Thursday or Friday as you head out the door with 80 to 90% rain chances, especially Friday. And of course, as you saw earlier, with that slight chance of flooding here across the Tallahassee area, we'll have to watch out and make sure you turn around, don't drown if you are driving out and see a large puddle of water. But for overnight lows, temperatures will actually start to increase as we get into Saturday and Sunday as we begin to see, again, more of those showers activity. But those should start to drop after Sunday as we move into the rest of the upcoming week as we start to see more sunshine coming into the picture. But now we'll turn things back over to the desk or to Spencer with another look at our local forecast.
Thank you again, Aaron. So you can see right now our weekend forecast. And current temperatures for our region, like I said previously, we are looking at temperatures around 85 down in Sumatra, 87 here in Tallahassee, and 87 as well in Valdosta. So we are still looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 80s throughout much of the Big Bend region. And again, with our current dew points in the area, we are looking at dew points in 71 in Tallahassee, 78 in Monticello, 76 in Apalachicola, so it is feeling really muggy out there. So definitely be sure you have your water with you. You want to stay hydrated in this weather. And looking at our future radar, so you can see overnight through the early morning hours, it is fairly clear. However, as we go into tomorrow, we do have some pop-up storms from the sea breeze coming out from the Gulf of Mexico, and those will lead to some pop-up showers. There shouldn't be too much risk for torrential downpours. However, those can never really be ruled out. And tonight, we are looking at a gorgeous evening, slightly cloudy with calm winds and around 73 degrees. So a gorgeous night to sit outside with your family and just read a book, do some homework, etc. It's a gorgeous night. And taking a look further at tonight's forecast, we are looking at temperatures in the low, 69 in Thomasville, reaching the 60s already, and 70 degrees in Monticello, 71 in Tallahassee, 71 as well in Perry, so low 70s tonight. And tomorrow, we can expect to see some afternoon thunderstorms with a slight south-southeasterly wind at 6 miles an hour. And tomorrow, we can expect temperatures in the mid-80s, around 84 degrees. And again, risk for some thunderstorms. So please always carry an umbrella. You never want to get stuck in those rains walking to class. And the forecast for tomorrow, we can expect to see some temperatures in the mid-80s throughout much of the Big Bend region. Again, 84 in Tallahassee, 86 out in Bainbridge, 81 in Carabel, and 86 in Apalachicola. And we should see some slightly cooler temperatures on more of the eastern part of the region. 85 degrees in Perry, 85 in Madison as well, and 85 in Monticello. And taking a look at the next 7 days. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday as well, we can expect to see some storms with temperatures in the low to mid 80s with lows in the lower 70s, potentially 71 to 73 degrees. And taking a look at the next week, 86, 88 degrees through next week. And passing it back off to the desk.
Yes, thank you, Spencer. I personally enjoy seeing those temperatures for the week to come in the mid 80s.
Right, it'll be very warm across the area. I mean, honestly, I'm not really a big warm temperature guy, but I mean, certainly this weekend we'll see the rain, and that will kind of compensate for it, but we'll have to see.
Yes, so I will say always carry an umbrella with you as you're walking to class. I know those storms tend to pop up just as you're leaving your apartment to go to class, and always carry your reusable, of course, want to say eco-friendly, your reusable water bottle because it is very hot.
I will say you only make the mistake once of not bringing an umbrella in Florida, because I made the mistake a few years ago of not bringing an umbrella with me to class, but I sure learned from that, and especially with the rain chances this upcoming Friday, we'll certainly have to watch out for that.
And rain is always something to look out for as we have the tropics really heating up. We have Danielle spinning off into the Atlantic, causing a fish storm, as we'd say, but we always want to keep you informed, and the way to do that is following us on Twitter.
And like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU weather.
And stay tuned with us live on YouTube every weeknight at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at FSU weather.
And for now, we'll pass it right back to the wall with Ariana Whittick for our 7-day.
Sticking around as we head into Thursday and Friday, even sticking around towards the weekend, but sunnier conditions are going to return as we head into our Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures are going to be in the 80s. 84 is right about average for now, and will stay that way as we head into the next couple days. So if you are planning on heading outside, Thursday and Friday is not looking great.